Yes, we're recording. Okay, we're recording. Woohoo!
And I saw the button pop up. I'm like, you did it, yes.
I'm not tech savvy, but I can figure it out. Okay, so let's see. I do not see it on my group, but that's okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see anyone's comments, but we're just going to go. So for those, hold on, let me make this bigger. Okay, perfect. You can see me good?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Hello, moms. So I'm Brianna. For those of you who are new to the group, I'm an empowerment coach for teen girls and young women. And I'm so excited because we've got someone really special that's here to share her progress and her transformation. And this is Trisha. This is one of my private clients that I have been working with, and we're still working together. We're not done yet, but she has made such amazing growth and transformation and change in her life in such a short amount of time that I asked her to come on, and she was really excited about it. And I just wanted to share all of this with all of you. So moms, if you're joining us live, welcome. If you have a daughter that would like to watch this as well, come have her join us, or, I'm recording this, so I'll be sending it out and you can watch the replay, watch it with your daughter. I think this is going to be amazing. So hello, Trisha.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I just in such a good mood right now, so yeah.
I love it. Well, working with you has been truly an honor, and it's just amazing. Every time I see you, you're glowing, you're happy, you're excited about life. And it's I sort of vaguely remember how you were at the beginning when we first started working together, and it was it was very different. So it's just amazing to see everything that's changed. Do you agree?
Yeah, because I remember first starting out, it would be 2 in the afternoon, and I'd be laying in my bed, covers still on, glasses on, everything, just, and I'd have my laptop just close to my face, just no desire to really just even sit up and have this meeting. But a couple weeks into it, I would start sitting up for the talks. I would I'd be awake hours earlier. I wouldn't have just woken up in time for the call. I would take a shower, I put my makeup on, I'm okay, it's time for my call now. So I'm up, I'm active, and just the little things have just changed throughout the weeks, and it's just it's noticeable. So I love it.
I love it. So I want to talk about where you were at the beginning and how you even found out about me. So how did this all come about?
So I've been struggling with depression for around 2 years now. So not as long as a lot of people have been, but it hit me hard. It was summer 2017. I was just completely catatonic. I didn't get out of bed for 3 months straight. And then school started, so I kind of got into a rhythm of things, and I started to get a little bit better, but it was never I would never have a good day and be wow, things are gonna be great now. I'd have a good day and be well, I still have depression. So I was never fully better. I never healed myself, but I was better from that point that I was in the summertime. But as last May and June started to roll around, I just found myself just kind of plummeting, just getting worse and worse and worse. I'd be driving to work just sobbing, just crying my eyes out, and I had no reason why. I just knew that I just felt so sad, and I was just so down. There were even sometimes I would drive to work, uniform and everything, and I'd walk in and just be listen, I have the flu, I need to go home right now. And they're okay, go home. And of course I wasn't sick. I was just I couldn't stop crying. And it was so debilitating. And it was to the point where I finally talked to my mom about it, and I was listen, I'm getting bad again, and I need help this time. And I had gone to a therapist before, but it did not work for me. The therapist made me feel worse than I felt to begin with. She made me feel all my problems were on me. They were my issues that I caused myself, which just made me feel worse of a person.
Right.
So I was therapy is not for me. I don't want to do it. But I felt myself getting so bad recently that I told my mom, I was I think I need to go see a therapist again. And honestly, within that same week, she told me, she's hey, there's this girl on Facebook, I'm in this mom group, and she does work, with young adults, and helps them, get through like things that you're going through. She's like, do you want to do that? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. Like, I don't want to, you know, stay feeling sad. Like, I want to get better, and I don't know how this is going to go, but like, you know, it's something to try. So that's how I came across you. My mom found you in the same week that I told her that like I needed help. She's like, oh, I just found this. And I'm like, oh, what a weird coincidence.
Amazing. That's how the universe works.
Like, oh, everything is connected. No, but since then, and like since we started doing like these meetings, it was just like week after week, like I physically felt myself, you know, like pulling myself out of like this funk I was in. And now it's like I've only been doing this like for a few weeks, and it's like I can honestly say like I don't think I have depression anymore. Like I think it's gone. Like it's like away from me. And yes, I'm still, you know, doing progress like with myself, but like I don't have depression anymore. I'm not a bad catatonic person. I'm living, I'm excited. I'm just like wake up every day and I'm just like, what do I get to do today? Just like, I don't know. It's just like I feel happy like all the time. And like, yeah, I'll have, you know, some bummer days, but the next day I wake up and it's like, okay, like today's a new day. Like, what are we gonna do now? So
I love it so much. So Trisha, what happened when, okay, so your mom told you about me. Were you at all like, a little bit nervous, hesitant to, because before you even decided to do coaching with me, we just did like an intro, like a call just for you and I to connect and for you to see if this would be for you. So were you hesitant before getting on the call, or how did you feel?
I was a little hesitant because like, I don't know, my mom just said like, oh, I found like this woman who does like, you know, like coaching and stuff on Facebook. And I'm like, I've never heard, I don't know what coaching is. Like what's empowerment work? Like it made no sense to me. And so, because I don't know, I was just very like, okay, if like you're sick, you go to the doctor and you see a therapist. It's like, and I was like, group coaching, like that doesn't sound like therapy or, you know, just one-on-one, you know, private coaching. I was like, I didn't know what it was. So I was skeptical, but I was like, you know, I was in such a bad place that I was like, I'm going to try it. Like, we'll see how it goes. And I'm so glad I did, because it's been helping me like for like miles past like what a therapist could have ever done for me.
Yeah. So can you share for like all of the moms and if any daughters are watching as well, can you share, like, you already did a little bit, but like how your life, a day in your life before working with me, when you had the depression, what that sort of looked like, and then now, like, what does your life look like? How is it different?
It's night and day. It's so wild. Like every day, like regardless if I had like work or school or anything, it would just, I would wake up at, you know, like 11:30, like 12, like, and it's not like I wanted to wake up earlier, but it was just like I would set an alarm and I would just be like, no, like I just don't feel like getting up. There's nothing to do today. So like I might as well just sleep as late as I can. Then I'd spend like an hour on my phone, you know, just scrolling through like social media. I'd get out of bed, I'd like, go make a snack, and then I would just bring the snack back to my bed, and I would watch TV until like 5 or 6 p.m., like not getting out of bed. And I would just constant cycle of just like scrolling through, you know, my phone, just whatever popped up on there, and just watching TV every day under my blankets, you know, not, you know, connecting with the outside world, not even going outside. Like I didn't want to like go with my mom to go run errands, like things like I used to like to do, you know, like I like to just like get out of the house. But at this point I was just like no, like, you know, the day's shot. Like I woke up at noon, so I can't do anything today. And it would just like around like nighttime would come, like I'd make dinner and I would like watch TV like in the living room, which was like, okay, like at least I got out of my bed a little bit. And then I would just go to sleep, and that was like my day. And like that was like a normal day. Like that's how things like were going. It's like sometimes like I would, you know, go grocery shopping with my mom, but like doing that, it was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so exhausted. Like I went out of the house today. Like I deserve, you know, like to spend another like 6 hours in bed, like right when I get home. And I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't living. I was just, you know, being a zombie in bed. And you know, since working with you, it's just like I hate staying in bed. Like and we've been talking about this. Like I'm setting my alarm earlier and earlier, like every day. Like I've been waking up at like 8 a.m. every day now, and I'll wake up, I'll have some coffee, like I'll lay in bed for a little bit, you know, to kind of wake up, like, you know, watch TV. But then by like 9:30, I'm like showered and I'm like, okay, like what am I doing today? Like, and if I have no plans, it's like, all right, like I don't have any plans today, but like I'm just gonna go out and do something, whether it be like, all right, like I'm gonna go meet up with a friend, you know, for coffee. I'm just gonna go to the mall and window shop, just because like getting out of the house just makes me feel so good. And
We're talking about you going to yoga like just this week in the morning, and you set your alarm.
in the morning, and
Yes.
I didn't even wake up from my alarm. I set my alarm for 8 in the morning, and I woke up at 6:45, and like I could have gone back to bed because I'm like, I don't need to get up till 8, but I was like, I'm awake now, like I might as well just stay awake. So I woke up before 7 and like felt good. And I saw that the YMCA had like a yoga class at like 9:30, and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna go to that. Like that'll be fun. That's something to do. And then so I was like laying in bed, and like I was supposed to start getting ready, but like I started to feel sick, and I was like, ooh, like maybe this is like a sign that I shouldn't go. But I remember that like it was like my mind like manifesting like this sickness, because it didn't want me to like leave my comfort zone. It didn't want me
Yes.
to leave and like go and like do something like different. But I was like, I fought it, and I was like, nope, like I'm doing this regardless. So I powered through it. I got to the yoga class like right as it started, and it was so much fun. It like exceeded all my expectations. Like you think like a yoga class at the YMCA, like not the best thing, to do, but like I woke up early and I went, and like I just got to stretch, and I like zenned out, and I had a great time, and it was only an hour. I it just it was such a great start to the day, and it was like when I got home it was only like 10:30, and I'm like, I already did so much today, and I'm just like, I have to stay on this roll. I have to keep going, so I have to like, find something else to do. And just all of yesterday was like the best day of my life, and I've said that like so many times. Like
I know Trisha is always telling me, she's like, this is the best day of my life. This is the best day. I'm like, oh my God, this is why it's so amazing, because it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, every single day it's like, and even like if I have like a bummer day, I'm just like, today like wasn't like that great, but it's like, it's over now. Like I'll go to bed, I'll wake up, and tomorrow like I'll wake up early and I'll feel good, and like I'll find something to do. And just like it's been such like a dynamic change, like from waking up at 12:30 and being like, oh, it's too late to do anything, to waking up at like 7, 8 and be like, all right, like what do I get to do today? So I love it.
I love it too. And I remember you telling me when you and I were talking about getting up early, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but is it okay? But Trisha said to me, she's like, well, I don't like waking up with alarms. And I'm like, do you understand that story is keeping you stuck? And that's the reason you're waking up at like 11:30 or noon every day. So it's like, change the story, change your life. And that's exactly what you did. You're like, that story is not serving me anymore, right?
Yeah, I told myself forever, I'm just like, God, like I just, I hate the sound of like an iPhone alarm. Like it just like the sound of it just makes me upset and angry. So like I would hear it and I would just shut it off immediately. And I was just telling myself that like I hated it. So every time I heard it, it just reaffirmed it. But then I told myself, I'm like, all right, like, I'm excited to get up at like 9 in the morning, at 8 in the morning, at 7 in the morning. And so every time the alarm like would go off, like I would hear it, and like the noise wouldn't bother me anymore. Like it did at first, like it took some getting used to, but like eventually like the noise wouldn't bother me, and I wouldn't, just keep clicking snooze like until it was like, time to really get up. I was like, I would hear the alarm, I would turn it off, be like, okay, like time to get up now. Like, yeah, like I'm kind of tired, but like I just got to throw off the covers, go get some coffee, and like I'll be good. And like since I started doing that, like my days have just went from like, I mean, they were like good already before I started doing the alarm. Like since we started working together, like let's say the days were at like 70, 80%. Like by waking up early, like they're at 110%. Like every day, just like starting it good is just like I feel like such a winner. Oh, it's so awesome.
Yes. I love this. I love this. How soon after you and I started working together did you? And by the way, moms, daughters, if you're watching this, Trisha and I have been working together for, I have to count, but I think it's like 7 weeks. I think that's what it is.
I think so too.
So it hasn't been that long. And of course, everyone is going to take a different amount of time to, to transform and to change their lives. But like Trisha is an amazing example of like, it really doesn't take that long. So Trisha, like how long would you say when we first started working together, how long was it before you actually started seeing like results in your life?
I'd probably say like by like the first, like after the first week, like the second time like we met with each other, like I had noticed, like some things were changing, because the very first thing that you like taught me was like how to change my subconscious, how to like, get rid of like negative thoughts and like just focus on like the good thoughts that like, pop into your daytime and day life, whatever.
Whatever. Same thing.
And so it was just like such a small thing. It was such like a small stepping stone, but like it was the groundwork for everything that was like to come after that. And like I'm still doing like the little things that you told me to do like in the first week, like on a day-to-day basis. And at first it took some getting used to, but like I just do them like a second nature now. Like a bad thought will kind of pop into my head. Like I'll be driving and I'll be like, today sucks and like nothing good's gonna happen, and I'll just go like delete, like that was a stupid thought, like no, like today's awesome.
Like that's old Trisha that would say that, not new Trisha.
Exactly, like old me saying that, and I'm just like I'm training my subconscious to be like, yo, like the old me, like trying to keep me safe, trying to just like keep me down, is just like, no, you got to move out now. Like new Trisha is moving in, and she's like way cooler of a person than old Trisha. So like I would have these thoughts and I'd just be like, no, like go away, like that's a dumb thought. And so I would just replace it with something good. Like, you know, today's actually like not that bad of a day. Like, you know, something good happened, and it's like there's still a couple hours left like for me to do something fun. So like, and just by changing like the way that like I thought, like it just changed me. And like it was hard to do at first, but it just got easier and easier. And now it's just something I do. Like I don't have nearly as many like negative thoughts as I did, because immediately when they come into my head now, I'm just like, nope. Like that's,
you're quick about it. You're very self-aware. And that's, I think, such a key piece of like the work that you and I do. It's like, you understand what's going on in your brain, how your mind works, and where you want it to go in order for you to live the sort of life that you want to live. Right.
Exactly. So it's like, and I could see the pattern from like when I was like depressed as compared to now. Like I would have these like bad thoughts, and then they would just spiral because I would just sit on them, and I would just be like, yeah, today is a bad day. Like no one really likes me, and it's not going to get better. And I would just get like lower and lower, like from those thoughts, like, and it would just drag me down. But now like if one of those thoughts like pops into my head, it's just like, no, like that makes no sense. Like my life is great. Like I have so much to look forward to, and of course it's going to get better. Like, oh, why wouldn't I think that? And it's just like such like a shift in mindset, like has just changed like the entire outlook of my entire life.
Yes. I love this so much. Here's the deal that I think we look at like people who have anxiety and depression, and we think of them as like, oh, they have anxiety or they have depression. They actually don't have either of those things. They have the habits of depression or anxiety. Would you agree? Because like once you break the habit, like I look at you and I'm like, I can't imagine you ever had like depression, or sorry, the habit of depression, but really all it is a habit of thinking poorly. But so many people like identify themselves with either being anxious or depressed, right?
Yeah, I used to, see myself as like, oh yeah, like, I have depression, I have anxiety, like these are like diagnosed symptoms. And I'm a science major, so like I understand like the brain chemistry behind it. Like there is, like a lack of serotonin and all these, like neural connections that like aren't, working correctly. And so it makes you think it's like, okay, the only way to fix it is with, like pharmaceutical drugs, like to fix these things. But honestly, it's not like, and I was the most skeptical about this, because I'm like, when my mom would tell me, it's like, you need to think positive, think the universe is like, on your side. And I was like, no, like, how am I supposed to, get better if, my brain is sick? But literally like doing this work and like changing my mindset and like telling myself, it's like, I am not diagnosed with, like a mental illness. It's like, maybe I was, but it doesn't mean I can't change it. It's like, because I was told I had depression, it was like, okay, I do. So then that thought would just always be in my mind. It's like, okay, I had a good day, but I still have depression. And so
right, or it's like it sort of became, tell me if this is right, but did it become like an excuse? Like if you did have a day where you were sad, you're like, well, it's because of the depression. And so
every day, even if it was like a good day, and like I would just be kind of like in a bummer mood, or like people would ask me to hang out and I would just be like, I can't, like, like my depression's acting up, as if it was like acne. Like it was just like, it's acting up and I just like, I can't really do anything today.
And I can't handle it.
And like they'd understand, like they get it, but like at the same time I was, so like self-sabotaging by having that mindset. And once I started to change it, like before like I met you, like the week before I met you, like I was like, I had depression, I was spiraling, I was bad, I was like, I need help. And then in just like a few weeks time, like working with you, I'm just like, I've changed my brain to where like I truly do not believe that like if I went to a doctor, they would say like, you don't have depression. Like like if I got like a brain scan or something and they can compare like the before and after pictures, like my after picture right now is just going to be like all pink filled with hearts and just like butterflies. I feel so good, and I just feel so happy and energetic all the time. And it's just, it is so hard to think like the places that I was in, like the thoughts I was thinking, like that's not the new me. And I love that it's not the new me, because like I hated that part of my life. It made me sad. I was just down all the time, and now I'm just happy, and I just have so much like positivity, and I just want to share it. And I'm just like, oh gosh, like this is so good.
I love this. When Trisha and I have our calls, we're always like smiling. Like my cheeks hurt from smiling so much with Trisha, because like everything that she tells me, it just like warms my heart, because you're just doing such amazing work on yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So one other thing.
I feel great. I'm just like, oh, I love it.
Trisha, what do you think is like the biggest gifts that you've gotten from us working together?
Aside from like my general overall happiness, which is like the best gift you could give anybody, like honestly, like to go from like the place where I was to the place I am now, like that is just like the biggest blessing that has like come into my life. And it's like I wouldn't be able to have like made these changes if it wasn't like for you and the things that you taught me. And every single day, like when we have our calls, like I tell you, I'm like, thank you so much, like you've done this for me. And you're always like, no, like you did this to you, like you changed yourself. And I'm like, I know, but like I couldn't have done it without you. But like,
and that's for moms and daughters, if you're watching too. Like I always say this, not just to Trisha, but all of the girls and young women that I work with. It's really about like, I'm not doing this work for your daughter. Your daughter is doing it. But the reason that Trisha has had such immense and like such huge change in her life is because she's putting in the effort. So this is different than going to a therapist and, you know, someone, you know, saying to the therapist, fix me, heal me, make me better. I'm not doing any of that. I am showing Trisha the way, but she's got to do her part too. And she's putting in the effort. This is why she's made such growth in a short period of time, because she was ready to go before she even met me or before we even connected. Because you were like, I need to work on myself. Like something's got to give. I need to change, right?
And that's why I think it was easy for me to like adopt like the changes so easily that you suggested. Like those simple things, like you have a bad thought and you just go delete, like just delete the thought. And I'm like, that seems like really silly. And especially if I did that out loud, like people are gonna think I'm weird. So when I first started out doing it, I would have like some thoughts and be like, oh wait, like I'm not supposed to be thinking like that. So that in my head I'd be like delete. And it started catching on like wildfire. And now I'm just driving in my car, something will pop into my head and I'm just like, delete, nope. Like just out loud, like to myself. Even if someone's in the car, like I'm just like delete, and they're like, what? And I'm like, just disregard it. It's not important. Like, but it's become such like a key part of my life. And it was just like these things that like old me like would not have done. It would have been just like silly and just like I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like that's weird. But it's just I did it and I embraced it. And because I did, like it's a part of me now. It's what I do, and it's like it's been helping so much. And it's like every single step that you've like told me to take, I've like done, and I've taken it, and it's like I've embraced it. And because I have this, I think why I am at the point I am today.
Exactly. And it's really all about like everything that you and I talk about. It's all about practice and learning new skills and then like applying them and doing them every day. Like, do you think you would have gotten where you are right now in your life if you did this once in a while?
No, absolutely not.
Right.
Because, like I had tried before, because like when I was like sad and like I wanted to get better, like I would look up, you know, like things, you know, to like improve like mental health. And like one of them was like, you know, like self affirmations, like tell yourself like how much like you love yourself, which is something that you told me to do as well. But like when I was at this point, like where I really wasn't probably ready to change yet, I would like, you know, I would look in the mirror and I would like look at myself and I'd tell myself like, I love you. And it just didn't seem real. It didn't seem genuine. And it was like, you know, you can do this every day, every morning, every night. And I just didn't do it. Maybe like once a week I would like do it, and I just didn't feel anything. So I just stopped doing it. And it was like, oh, okay, like that was, you know, pointless. But like when you told me to do it and I'm like in this attitude of like, yes, I want to change, like, and you're telling me to try this out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it out. So every night for a week I would, you know, look in the mirror, like, I love you. Like, and I would just repeat it. I love you. Like, you're worth it. Like, you are so important. And then it just like turned into like 5-minute conversations I'd have with myself, like,
Yes.
hey again, like, it's you, like, I love you, you're doing so good, like, I'm so proud of you. And just like, and I do this every night, and I tell myself how proud I am of myself, and like how happy I am with the progress that I'm making, and it's just gonna keep getting better. And then like, I don't know, I just, it would have just been like silly, like, you know, to just do it once and to think that it would have like had any effect. But I stuck with it, and I still do it every day, and it's another one of those things that has just made me into new me. Like, I just love
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. We could do this all day long,
it.
but we won't.
You know, if calls go on too long, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I have to get sidetracked because I'm just so happy and I just want to tell you everything that's going on.
We get into a flow and we don't even look at the time. Trisha, what would you say is the big difference? Because you've done therapy in the past and you didn't like it, and you said it didn't work for you. What would you say in your experience has been a few of the big differences with therapy and the coaching that you and I do together?
So with therapy and like the therapist that I saw, you know, I was just like an emotional wreck. Like, I would sit there and I would tell this person like everything that like I was having issues with, like why I was sad and like things in my past that like had like hurt me. And like, you know, I would just like things that like you would like tell like a friend, or it's like someone's like, what's wrong? You're like, this is what's wrong. This is everything that's going on. And it's like weighing on me. Like, I just don't know if I can do it. And like the therapist would like, you know, occasionally like nod and be like, okay, like go on, like keep telling me. And at the end they'd be like, okay, well, I can see like a trend here is that like you're like self-sabotaging, like, you know, yourself, and you need to take responsibility for your actions. And I'm like, okay, like I get that, but like right now, like at this point, like that's like maybe like 3 weeks down the line is what you should tell me. But, like, here I am like crying my eyes out because, you know, like someone like broke my heart, and it's like you're putting like the blame on me, which maybe it was, but it's not what I needed to hear at the moment. I needed to hear like I was in a safe place and like things were going to get better. And it wasn't like a, okay, like, you know, take a few deep breaths, like we're going to get through this, like let's focus on something happy, like what's something good that we can like immediately, you know, like change about yourself. It was like, okay, like your problems are caused by yourself, and if you want to feel better, like go and exercise and eat better. Like those are the 3 things that are just going to make you feel so much better. Okay, goodbye, have a nice day. And it was,
And that was it.
that was it. And I left the office and I'm just like, I feel so bad. Like I can't get out of my bed, let alone go outside, let alone exercise. Like, oh my gosh. And it was just like you're a therapist, like you should know, you know, people struggling with this, like they can't do these things so easily. They need baby steps. And she just like threw me into the lion's den and was like, everything's your fault. I'm trying to exercise, and all right, I'll see you again if you want to have another session. And of course I didn't, because I'm like, you made me feel so much worse.
Right.
But working with you, it's like I started off, and I think like the first call I was like crying because I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like my life's kind of spiraling and I don't know where to go from here. And like you listen to what I had to say, and you're like, I understand, like I get that, like that must be, you know, like hard to go through, but like don't worry, like it's gonna get better. Like we can do these little things, you know, to help, like the breath work, or just, you know, talking through it and like seeing like where the issues like really lie. And like before we even like get into, you know, putting the blame on like someone or yourself or anything, we've never even talked about blame. Like, you know, if anything, it's always just been like, where does your self-worth lie? Like where do you see yourself, and like do you want to improve that? And it's like yeah, like my self-worth is really low at this point, and like I do want to get better. And so it started there, you know, just like, how do you see yourself, and like what little things can we change that we can do to just like, I don't know, just like make like it easier to like reach these next steps. Because like when we started, it was the little things. It was like, you know, like changing your mindset, like taking out those negative thoughts, and just like easy things to do. And like now you're like 6-7 weeks like down the line, and it's like, okay, like I'm waking up hours earlier and I'm going to yoga classes like in the morning, like when I used to not even be awake in the morning.
Exactly. And you would still be sleeping.
Exactly. Like, whereas the therapist is like, all right, like just go do these things. And I'm like, I can't, I don't know how. I don't even like know where to start. And like you start with like the baby steps, and you let me get to where like I needed to be. Like you didn't say like, okay, like you seem to be doing good, like you're gonna go exercise today. It was like, no, it's like, all right, like once like you're feeling up for it, like you started waking up early, like that's great, that's awesome. Like what's the next thing that we can do, you know, to add on to that? And I was like, I kind of like exercising. So you're like, that's awesome. Like, what sort of exercise, like, do you want to do? And I'm like, I kind of like yoga. And that's how we got into, finding a yoga class and, taking one in the morning. And then I just did it. And now I love it. I want to do it every day. I'm so excited to see like where like the next step is going to be. Cause like with a therapist, I would still be, way down here. Like with Brianna, I'm past wherever the screen is. Honestly.
I love this. I love this. Do you feel like the accountability and us being in contact, like for those of you moms and daughters who are watching this, Trisha and I text, and I also use an app. It's like a walkie-talkie app so we can stay in contact with one another. Do you find that that is also like helpful and has helped you have this transformation in your life?
Yeah, because I mean, when we first started, I was like hesitant because I was like, okay, like I didn't really know you, and I was like, all right, this is like a therapist that's like online, and like we meet like once a week and we have our calls. But then you always tell me like you can reach out anytime, day or night. Like you can use the Voxer app, the walkie-talkie thing. You can just text me, like I'm here. And eventually like, I started like to get into it because I would have like bad days, and it's like I don't get to talk to Brianna for a couple more days, but I would just text her, or she would text me just randomly like, hey, like how are you doing? And I'd be like, I'm having a good day. And she's like, that's awesome. Like, great to hear it. Like, keep up the good work. Or, sometimes I would text her and be like, hey, like, just like not having the best of days, but, trying to keep a positive outlook. Or I'd be like walking to my car, like home from school, and I would use like the Voxer app. And I'm like, I figure I'll just try this, like instead of texting you, because it's like a lot to say.
Yeah.
And I told her, like this big issue that like I've been having like with one of my friends. And so we like talk back and forth for maybe like 20 minutes, like just like, like 5 minutes each, like just like, and it was just like, it was so helpful. It was like, it was like a mini phone call, but just like over the app. And like by the end of it, like I felt so good. Like, and it was from the time that it took me to like leave school to get home. We had like this whole conversation, and like I get home and like my mom like has like dinner made, and she's like, how is everything? And I'm like, really good. Like I just talked with Brianna for like 20 minutes, and like we sorted everything out. Like I feel a lot better. I saw where the issue was. I fixed it, and I feel good. And like even last night, like it was like I was just having a good day, and I was like texting, I'm like, I'm having a great day, like I'm going out tonight, like I'm so happy, like and you're just like, yes, like this is all because of you, like you texted me like, I'm so glad you had a good time, but like the most important thing is that like you acknowledge that you had a good time, like you acknowledge that like you're bettering yourself. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I guess I am, like this is so cool, I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you had texted me, I think it was just today, and you're like, oh my god, I had such a good night, and like all of that. And I said, that's amazing, but most importantly, it's how you're feeling. That's what is so amazing about all of it.
Right. And especially after I talk to you via the Zoom calls, or walkie talkie, or even just like texting, like I feel joy, like just in like the pit of like my chest, like I'm just like smiling from ear to ear, and like I just feel so elated, like I have so much positive energy just like around me and in me, like, and it's just like you just bring out like the good in me, like when we talk. And it's like I have my bad days, and I turn to you when I'm feeling a little bit low, because compared to how I used to feel like when I had depression, like I would feel it in the pit of my stomach, and just like all around me it was just like it was heavy, it was just like this bad energy that was just always around me. And now it's like every day is like I feel good. But especially after talking with you, I'm just like, I'll hang up the call and I'm just like, deep breath, like, oh, I feel so good, like I'm gonna go outside or something. Like it's just
amazing.
I feel so good after talking with you.
Love it. I feel good after talking with you too. I feel good right now.
I'm just like, I feel it like right here in my chest. I'm just like, oh, I'm just so happy right now.
I love it. I have a couple more questions for you, and then we can wrap this up. How do you feel about doing this online? Because I know there might be some moms that are watching this, and you might be thinking, well, this is online coaching. I don't know if this is right for my daughter. I want her to, be with someone in person. If you are thinking that, or if you're a girl or a young woman watching and you're thinking that, can you speak to that and just say, like, Trisha lives in San Diego, I live in Los Angeles. It doesn't matter where you live, but can you just share, like, how has it been? We do everything online.
So if anything, I would have so much like preferred to have like done this like online in the first place, like because I didn't want to leave my house. I wanted to wear my pajamas every day. Like I didn't want to put my makeup on, like, and that's like a big thing for me is like if I go out, I have to get ready to go out, which is one of my things, but it's whatever. But so being able to, you know, like talk to you and have like our calls like from like my bed, like I didn't have to get out of my pajamas, you know, my hair was still like unbrushed. And you weren't like, oh my gosh, like your hair is awful, you know, just like, hey, like how you doing, you know? And so yeah, like at first when we started out, like I would be like laying flat in my bed, you know, like laptop just kind of like hovered over my face, like not even like enough effort to like sit up in bed and like do this conversation. But because like I've gotten so much more confident like working with you, and like I've felt such like a change in myself that like here I am, you know, like sitting in my living room. I'm like, oh, the natural light is just like so good in here. Like I feel good, and it's just like because it was like online, like I had no pressure of like bailing out, because it was like I couldn't, you know, tell myself like, oh no, like I'm not gonna go because like I don't want to, you know, put on regular pants, like just like that. But so it held me more accountable, because it was like I can't back out, because it's literally all I have to do is turn on my computer.
Exactly. It's so easy.
Exactly. And so after like the first 2 weeks, like if like we did live like close by or whatever, I would have been 100% for, you know, like an in-person meeting or whatever. But I still get everything, if not more, out of being able to communicate with you online and like at any time.
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure you're not that far from me, so we're going to meet in person one of these days.
I came to LA that one time, and you're like, do you want to like do our meeting in person? I was like, yes, but like I don't have time, but like
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. No, I'm just like, I'm so thrilled by like your progress, your transformation. And it's like, we're not even done yet. So it's like, I just get excited thinking about where your life is going and just all of the amazing things that are happening for you and in your life. And it's like, it's truly incredible to just be a part of that and like witness it. And I'm just like loving it.
Like, this is like to all like the girls out there, like you're listening, like I am so excited, like for every day, just for everyday life. Like, and I used to, you know, just be so just like, whatever, you know, it's just another day, like gotta get up, I guess. But now it's just like, I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like something good's gonna happen today. And even if it doesn't, maybe something good will happen tomorrow or just like this week. And you think like that and something good is gonna happen. Like, you know, you attract what you think. And because I've been in such like a positive mood, like the last, like, I would say like 3 weeks, like good things have just like been happening, which just like amplifies like all the goodness. And oh my God, I can't believe that we're not done yet, because I'm like, I feel like I'm on top of the world, and I'm like, honestly, how could it get any better? Like I'm just like, I'm doing so good, and it's just like, oh my God, like we're like halfway to, I don't know.
Yeah, like seven weeks in. It's like, it's crazy.
Like, I literally have no idea where it's gonna go from here, but like to see where I'm at the end, like I'm just I can't imagine it, because it's just not something I've ever experienced, and I'm so excited for it, honestly.
I love it. What would you say to any of the moms or girls or young women that are watching this, whether you're live or whether you're watching the recording of this, about you know, your transformation or just like what you've done thus far? Like, what would you say to them?
Like, God, like
girls that want to feel better, that aren't feeling better right now.
If I can do it, any of you can, because oh my, like the places like I was in, the thoughts I was having, like I thought I was like done for. I was like, this is my life now, like this is just how I'm gonna continue on. And then like it got to a point where like something kind of like hit me, where it was like I need to change, and I think that I can. And it was like I thought it was like with therapy, but then my mom found like Brianna, and it was just like from there, it was everything in my life started to make sense. Everything like had connections, like everything she's been teaching me about, you know, like your subconscious and what you attract, and just how to manifest like the life that you want. Like take it to heart, like really just like, I don't know how to like explain it, but like don't, you know, like have it like go in one ear and like out the next. Like it's not like some lesson that like you're learning in school where it's like, I'm never going to use this in the future. Like this is like the most important like schooling that you could ever get, ever have. Like I'm only 21, and like the rest of my life is like shaped because of what I'm doing right now. Like I know like I'm not like, I used to think of like, wow, like I'll be like a 35-year-old kind of like sad, just doesn't want to do anything. I'll be in my 60s, you know, just sad. But now I'm just like, I'm only 21, and like I realize I'm like I get to create the life that I want. So it's like, if I want to be like a rock star, like shoot, I'll be a rock star. I'll go make music. It's like, I want to be a doctor. Like, I'll put in the effort. I'll go to medical school. It's like, I have the ability to like make whatever life that I want. And it used to just be like, okay, it's up to the universe. Like, it's all predetermined. It's, you know, it's what it's going to be, but it's not. It's like, there's a Hannah Montana song, and it's like, life's what you make it. And it's, God, it never resonated until like I've like done this work. And it's like, you hear it your whole life, you know, it's like, you create the life that you want, and you're just like, yeah, okay, like, sure. But there's so much truth to it. And I just wish I could tell everyone, like everyone I meet, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, do what you want to do and do it now, because like, you have the power to do whatever the hell you want. And
exactly.
It's just the thing. And also, like, side note, girls, listen to your moms. Like, she is the number one person in your life. She's always looking out for you and just the best interest for you. So if she, you know, suggests this like to you, don't just, you know, be like, oh, okay, like, I guess that's something, and just kind of, you know, like toss it over your shoulder. Because like, I've been a skeptic my whole life. Like, I was gonna do the same thing, but I was like, you know what, like, I know my mom has like my best interest in mind. I'm gonna try this out. And if I hadn't, I would be back where I was. I would be sad Trish, who just like sat in bed all day doing nothing. And now here I am. I'm just like happy all the time, just looking for something fun to do and just enjoying life. Like, like, I'm only 21. There's going to be a million more days to be had, but each day is so special. And it's just, I wish everyone could realize that, honestly.
I love this. I love you, Trisha.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me. And I know you say you do it for yourself, but so thank you.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, I hope you can see this like amazing energy. I'm sure you can, like with Trisha, but like, I said this to her, like, just what, yeah, I don't remember when I said this to you, but I'm like, I can't even imagine you being like depressed. It's like, it's hard to even remember her that way, but she was like 7 weeks ago. And like, look at you now. It's just, it's amazing. Like, I'm just so, so happy for you. And I'm just like, I'm so honored that we get to do this incredible work together, because it's not just right for your life right now. This is for the rest of your life. And you know that. So
and that's why and you tell me all the time, you're like, I wish I had known this at your age. And I'm like, I'm so glad I get to know this at my age, because I've got like all my entire life ahead of me to like live it like how I choose to live it, and like
exactly
what like the work that I'm doing now. And it's just, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and I'm so grateful like to have like found it, you know.
I love it. I love it. Well, we went way over the time that we got, but we never keep good time together, because we always do this
every time. I was like, okay, it's been like a half hour. I was like, oh my God, no, it's been like almost.
Okay, well, moms, I hope you enjoyed this interview. I don't know if anyone had any questions, but I wasn't able to sync up the comments. So hopefully you got something out of this interview with Trisha. And if you have any questions, please like reach out to me. I do offer private coaching. I also have group coaching. I have Unstoppable You. It's the group online coaching program. It's starting next month. It's for 18 to 22-year-olds. Currently, I have the 13 to 17-year-old running right now, but the next one should be happening probably sometime next month as well. So there's like lots of opportunities, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just so thrilled. Like, Trisha, you're amazing. I love you. I love everything that you're doing with your life. Just like, keep it up. Thank you for you know, talking to all the moms.
I'm glad I got to like, you know, just speak this, you know, to the internet, honestly, because I'm just like, I want to tell everyone I meet, just like, oh my gosh, life is so good. So the fact that I kind of got to just express a bit of that energy out like for this group, I'm just like, thank you for that. I needed it.
Thank you for that. Okay, well, all the moms and girls and young women that are watching this, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and sending you all lots of love, hugs, and kisses. Bye.